Welcome back. In the last couple of videos, we learned about how the KNN algorithm works, and in this video, we'll see how we can implement KNN in Python. So we'll work with both classification and regression problems. Let's start with the classification problem. So we'll start with importing the required libraries. Here we have pandas, numpy, and matplotlib. Matplotlib is used to plot the graphs in Jupyter, and we use %matplotlib inline so that we can see the graphs inside the Jupyter notebook itself, and then we import any warnings that we get. So let's run this cell. Now once we have the required libraries, the next step is to load the dataset. Here we use the cleaned version of the Titanic dataset. So let's look at the first few rows, and data.head will give us the first few rows. So here we have the Titanic dataset, and in this case we have the target variable as survived, where we want to predict based on the features of the person whether the person will survive or not. Now when I say the cleaned version of Titanic dataset, I mean that we have already taken care of the missing values. So we have imputed the missing values, and all the categorical variables are already encoded into numbers, since we know that most machine learning algorithms cannot deal with categorical variables. So we change these variables into numbers. Since the idea behind this notebook is to learn how to work with the KNN model, we'll skip the imputing missing values and converting the categorical variables part. We have already covered it in the previous modules. So if you want to get a quick review, you can go back and watch the videos. Now moving forward, the next step is to separate the dependent and the independent variables. So in the variable X, I have stored all the features, and in the variable Y, we have the target variable, which is survived. So if you look at the shape of these variables, we'll see that both X and Y have 891 rows, which is the complete size of our dataset, and X has 24 columns, which is the features, and Y has 1, which is the target variable. Now in this section, we'll be scaling the data. So as we discussed in the previous videos, scaling all the features is extremely important, especially when we work with distance-based algorithms like KNN. And so here we are using the min-max scaler, which will scale down all the features in between 0 and 1. So we import the min-max scaler from sklearn.preprocessing, and then we create an instance. Then we create another variable xScaled, which stores the scaled features from X. So let's run this cell. And since this returns us an array, we'll need to convert this into a pandas data frame. So I have used here pd.dataframe and given the variable xScaled in this, which is an array right now. And the column names for this new data frame should be the same as X, which we had previously. So once I run this cell, we'll have a new data frame X, which has the scaled features. So if we want to look at the head of the data set, here we have the same features, and in this case, all the features are ranging between 0 and 1. The next step would be to divide the complete dataset into the training and the test part. So the idea is to use some part of the dataset to train the model and keep a small part aside to check the performance of the model at the end. So we use the train test split function for this, and to the train test split, we give two datasets, X and Y. X is all of our features and Y is the target. This returns 4 data frames, which will be train X and train Y, the features and target for training, and test X and test Y, the features and the target. In the dataset, we have set any random state number 56 for now, and we use stratify is equals to Y. So what stratify does is, it will make sure that the distribution of the target class in both your training and test data is equal. So both training and test data will have equal proportion of positive and negative classes. Now we'll go ahead and implement the KNN classifier. So we first import the KNN classifier from sklearn.neighbors, and we also import the F1 score, which will be our evaluation metric for this classification problem. After that, we create a KNN instance and we name it CLF, as in classifier. Then we use clf.fit, which is used to train the model, and to the model we give the training data, train X and train Y. So this is our features and target. And then we make the predictions using clf.predict on the test data. Finally, we check the F1 score using the test predict, which were the predictions by our KNN model, and the test Y, which is the actual value for the test data. and then we print the test FN score. So once I run this cell, I get the FN score to be 0.678. So in this case, right now we have used the default value of n neighbors, which is 5. Let's say I change this value to 7 and run the cell again. So my F1 score changes. My F1 score has improved to 0.69. So you can actually change the n neighbors value manually, but that would be a tedious process since you cannot always try all the numbers manually. So as we studied before, we'll be using an elbow curve. So to create an elbow curve, we'll train the KNN model for different value of n neighbors and finally select the value which give us the least error. So here I've defined a function to create the elbow curve. We create an empty list called the test error, which will store the error values for each value of k that we need. To this function, we give an input k, and for every value in k, we create an instance of KNN using that value of k as n neighbors. Then we train the model, we make the predictions on the test dataset, and we calculate the F1 score. Finally, we calculate the error by subtracting the F1 score from 1 since a higher F1 score would mean a better model, and when we are trying to calculate the error, we want to see the minimum error, so we just simply take 1 minus F1 score and we append all these values to the empty list that we had, and finally this function returns us that list. So here I've defined the function. Now in this cell, I am giving the range of k values. I have taken the values from 6 to 20 and I want to check the error at every alternate value. Hence I've set the number 2 here. So you can choose to take the values from 1 to 40, 1 to 50. You can select the range yourself. And when I set this k range, now we'll be calling the above defined function. So we call the function elbow for k, and k here is a range of 6 to 20 for every alternate values. So once I do that, I want to see the plot of the elbow curve. So we use plt.plot to plot all the values in the test, which is the test error list, and for every value of k. And these are just the x label and y label that we'll have. So this here is the elbow curve for the particular problem. We have the values ranging from 6 to 20. And we can see that the minimum is around 12 or 14, you can say. So let's go ahead and set the n neighbor values to 12 and train the model again and check the F1 score. The score has improved to 0.70 in this case. So that's how you can work on a classification problem using KNN and build an elbow curve of your own and decide the right value of k. Now let's look at a regression problem. So in this case, we have the Big Mart sales dataset. Again, we are using the cleaned version of this dataset, which means all the categorical variables are encoded to zeros and ones. So, and we have no missing values. After that, we'll follow the same steps as above. We'll separate the dependent and independent variables. Again, I have chosen X to be all my features and a variable Y as my target. Now we'll go ahead and scale the dataset. Here we are using the min-max scaler, which will scale all the values or all the features between 0 and 1. So we import the min-max scaler from sklearn.preprocessing. Then we create an instance called scaler. And we create xScale as a new variable which stores the transform data. And then we convert this into a data frame. So once that's done, we'll again create a training and testing part so that we can train the model on this training set and use the testing set to evaluate our model performance. Now here we import the KNN regressor, and in this case our evaluation metric I have here is MSE, which is the mean squared error. For now we create an instance of KNN called reg, and using the default values for n neighbors, which will be 5. Then we fit this regressor on the training data, make predictions on the test data, and finally evaluate the predictions using the MSE. So once I run this cell, I'll get the mean squared error value for the test data. Now same as above, when we want to decide the right value of k, we'll create another elbow curve. In this case, I have defined another function. So we have test MSE as an empty list. And for every value of k, we create a KNN instance and train the model. Then we make the predictions on the test set and calculate the MSE value for these predictions and the actual values, and then append this to the empty list that we had. Finally, this function returns me a list that has the error for every value of k. Again, we are defining the range of k values. This time I've taken it to be from 1 to 40. You can adjust this range yourself. And then we call the above defined function. Finally, we'll plot this curve. And here we have an elbow curve for all the values of k neighbors with the test mean squared error on the y-axis. So I can see that the minimum error is approximately around 9. So I'll set the KNN n neighbors value to be 9 and repeat the same process. I'll fit on the training data and make predictions on the test data. And in this case, we see that the MSE has reduced from 1714854 to 1622957. Now, there are a few scenarios when KNN algorithm might not work well. First of all, if you have not scaled your data and your features have a very different range, in that case, the KNN algorithm would fail. So make sure you scale your data while working with the KNN algorithm. And that's all for this video. In this video, we covered how to implement a KNN classifier and a KNN regressor. Thank you.